We've been enjoying our Heartland Mallard RV on our big trip from Florida to Yellowstone Park. We've made a lot of enhancements and improvements to the RV in preparation for this long trip, and we thought you might be interested in seeing what some of them are. John added a 32-inch TV in a space that was designed for only a 19-inch TV. In order for the TV to fit, he mounted it on a 20-inch folding swing arm. As you can see, when the swing arm is fully folded, the TV will be moved up against the wall and behind the slide out, and we're able to bring the slide of the RV in. The Wally Dish Network satellite receiver is mounted on the wall behind the TV with heavy-duty Velcro. So far, after over 2,000 miles of traveling in the RV, it hasn't fallen off yet. John has to be able to watch his TV even in remote locations. For our internet access, John mounted the WineGuard Connect 2.0 Wi-Fi antenna on top of the RV. The cabling comes down through the roof and is powered and connected through the on-off switch he mounted on the side of this cabinet. This cabinet is where the electronics for the solar panel array are mounted. John used the Victron 150 amp MPPT solar controller to manage the charging algorithms to keep our batteries charged. The solar controller is connected to a Bluetooth dongle so that he can monitor various information like volts and amps coming from the solar panels to the batteries on his iPhone, iPad, or laptop. Back up on the roof, John mounted four 100-watt 12-volt flexible solar panels. They're wired in parallel, giving us a total of 400 watts. He used flexible panels to keep the weight down, and they're all mounted on the roof with internal bond tape, which is extremely strong stuff. He also left room for 4 more solar panels to be added in the future. On the tongue of the RV are the batteries. We got rid of the one 12-volt, 85 amp hour, 86-pound lead acid battery and replaced them with 3 12-volt, 100 amp hour lithium ion phosphate batteries. They're wired in parallel to give us a total of 300 amp hours. Each battery only weighs approximately 26 pounds, again trying to keep the weight of the RV down. With lithium batteries, you're able to nearly fully drain the batteries to about 10% without any damage to them, as compared to the lead acid batteries, where you can only use 50% of their capacity. So, for example, a 100 amp hour lead acid battery is really only 50 amps, as you can't go below 50% of their capacity. If you do, you will damage the battery to a point that they will never fully charge. With lithium, we can bring them down to 10% or more and not damage them. They will recharge to the full capacity. They also have a faster recharge rate and a higher recharge cycle. Inside on the left side of the battery box, John installed a battery cutoff switch, so when we store the RV, we can cut off any 12-volt current coming from the batteries into the RV. That way, we don't drain the batteries during storage. On the right side of the battery box is the Victron battery monitor bus bar. So how does John safeguard his precious batteries? He locks them up in a Power Armor battery box. The box comes with a key lock on the side of the box, but John also wraps a cable lock around the box. I'm not kidding. This is all tied to the 3,000-watt Ames Pure Sine Wave inverter. The main purpose of the inverter is to take the 12 volts coming from the batteries and convert them to 120 AC volts like in your house, so that when we're not connected to shore power, we can still watch TV, charge our cameras, laptops, phone, and iPads. We can also run the toaster, waffle maker, and any household appliance. The inverter will also charge the batteries when we are connected to shore power. Inside the RV, John mounted the Ames Power Monitor, where he can monitor the input voltage from shore power, the voltage being outputted by the inverter, and other items. Next to the inverter monitor is the Victron battery monitor. John can monitor what the batteries are doing, for example, how many amps are being outputted, how much voltage the batteries are charged at, and so on. He can monitor all this on his iPhone, laptop, or iPad. Here's a screenshot of what the battery monitor shows. Outside on the back of the RV, John installed the cell phone booster antenna for when we're in a remote location and we need to increase our cell phone signal. The pole can extend up to 10 feet above the RV. Also, on the back of the RV, he installed a wireless backup camera so that he can see how many things he can hit when he backs into a spot at the campground. We added a cargo storage crate to the back bumper for additional storage. The bumper is only track welded to the frame of the RV, and we weren't too confident that it would hold the additional weight. John had a good friend of his, Walter, come up with brackets to strengthen the bumper. It has worked through our cross-country trip from Florida to Yellowstone. Since the brackets are bolted through the bumper, and that is where we stored the waste hose, the hose had to be stored in another location. We purchased the adjustable Volterra Easy RV hose storage and mounted it underneath the RV near the bumper. We love the saying on the back of our RV. A good friend of ours, Bob, who does lettering for police cars, fire trucks, and ambulances, did this for us. We added a slide-out awning to the roof of our slide-out to keep debris and rain off the slide-out roof. John added a key code lock to the front and rear doors of the RV. Good idea, so you don't lock your keys in the RV. Below the doors, he added motion detector night lights so that we can see the steps when we come home in the dark. They also come on at night when animals are sniffing around the RV. In the bedroom cabinets, John added 3 shelves to each side of the cabinets for more efficient use of space. The under-the-bed storage space didn't have a way to keep it up when you opened it, so John added these gas-filled cylinders to keep the bed up when accessing that storage area. A fantastic vent fan was added to the kitchen area ceiling. The RV only came with a screened vent with cover. The fan is reversible, so it will pull out air and bring in air from an open window. These screen door handles were added to make it easier to open and close the screen door. Another item which is good for peace of mind was John got rid of the cheap $29 Chinese tires and had Goodyear Endurance trailer tires put on instead. He also added tire pressure sensors to measure the tire pressure and temperature of the tires to guard against a blowout. A blowout can cause expensive damage underneath your RV and can damage your holding tanks or under your slide out. All of these enhancements have really worked out well and helped us to have a really great trip so far. But I'm sure that John isn't done yet with trying new things and continuing to improve our home away from home.